Just to introduce us, we are Juliana Correa. Oops, I'm sorry. I introduced an superfluous R in your name, who is from PMI, responsible for education, youth, social impact in Europe. And I'm Martin Bertram. I'm a board member of the PMI Germany chapter, and I'm the host for this session. Just to remind you about the schedule, all times are in Greenwich Mean Time. So if you are watching us from something like Poland, you have to add an hour to this time to get the local time. For Germany as well, but I'm currently sitting in London, so Greenwich Mean Time is my time. So just for now, we will do the introduction of the day. I will tell a lot of things you should consider. Then between 10:30 and 10:10 and 4:10, we expect all the teams to work offline. Nobody will watch you but yourself, so feel free to work hard. And if you want to take a break, you are free to do so. There are no plans when you should take a break, so just arrange it within the team. Then between 4:10 and 4:40, you should prepare the presentations you would like to give us. And starting at 4:40, running for 2 hours, we will have the presentation of all the proposals. We have 11 teams at the hackathon, so it will just fit in when we are using 10 minutes per team. So I have to be pretty rough with the schedule. So if someone tries to speak longer, I will have to cut him or her off, because otherwise you will steal the time from other teams. After a short break, we will do the closing wrap up, Juliana and me, and put some reflections on what we have seen and done for today. Then the judges will talk and discuss what awards we would like to give to which team. And then shortly before 9 and the end of this summit, I or Juliana will announce what team receives what award, and we just talk about it, and we will send the certificates either end of this week or sometime next week, to keep that you can display it on your LinkedIn account and social media and wherever you would like to post it. For the teams, just some things to keep in mind. You have all completed the PMI kickoff course in the PMI website, and most of you have participated in the hackathon training Esther, Juliana, and I did on Monday. So just keep in mind what you have learned there. You have received my slides, Monday slides. So if you need some reference, just have a look there. Please use the template provided for the project canvas. And if you need to do some additional slides, you are free to do so. But keep in mind that you have only 10 minutes. We will not take any questions from the general audience, but if we have questions, we will convey them to you, and please answer those questions, answering the mails to us, so we can give the answers to those who ask. The judges might have some questions of clarification, you should be prepared to answer them. We don't want any discussion. If this is a right way to do it, or if there's another way to do it, that's not our intention. We will, as the hosts, cut those things short. Questions for clarifications are okay, discussions not. We have only 10 minutes per each team. And please send us your presentation slide as soon as possible, because we would like to keep them and use them, for example, for the judges. About the project, I got a few questions about the project. Which size of project do we have? First thing is, if you propose a project, the team that's proposing should be involved when executing a project. You should not try to define a project that somebody else, company or whatever should be doing. It should be your project, not someone else's. The project should be a local thing done with a limited budget and to be completed in the near future. Near future means something like 12 months, and local doesn't necessarily mean local at your university, but local, for example, it might also be a village somewhere in Africa where you would like to install a safe and secure water supply. Never mind. We don't want any proposals going towards reducing world hunger. That's not the scale we are looking about. You can choose any of the 17 UN Social Development Goals as a topic. There's no limit. You don't have we don't give any have any preferences for those. But one of those SDGs should be the leading one, along which you will be doing the project and doing the proposal. I think I forgot one thing. If you have any questions, please put it in the session chat, not in the event chat, but because if you put it in the event chat, all the other sessions will be seeing it. And so it's really not our intention. If you want to ask me or Juliana questions in the session chat, we will be able to answer the questions after I'll finish in a very few minutes. Just some information. I'm not sure whether any judges are present in this opening. Just the same thing I'm asking for you. Due to the limited time, we would like the judges to limit their questions to understanding the proposals. No discussion of pros and cons and doing something differently. You can discuss this. We can provide a contact for the judges to any team, and you can discuss very much about those proposals and other ideas at a later time, not during the summit, please. And after the proposals, the presentation of the proposal, we ask the judges to send their notes to us. Then we will consolidate all those notes and discuss the awards. Yeah, that's about what I would like to present to you, and then just start working.
Can I say a couple of things, Martin, very briefly?
Just go ahead.
And I think we got a question in the chat as well. So first, I just wanted to reinforce the point you made before that The teams have 10 minutes, and that should include any questions from the judges. So just be sure you plan for that as well as you're going through your presentation. Secondly, as Martin mentioned, please send your presentations and the project canvas as soon as they're ready. We will be organizing the order of presentations based on the receipt of those presentations. So the sooner you send it, you will be allocated into that order when we come back later. And I think just for me, I think, this is a massive learning experience. You already had some in-depth training with us. We're very excited about having you here. So have fun during the day as well. We want this to be not only a learning experience, but also a fun and enjoyable day for all of you too. This is a great opportunity. So yeah, just a reminder for people to have fun.
Yes. I see a question from Anders. Are the teams already fixed? Yes, those teams are fixed. We asked universities and other organizations like the Jane Goodall Institute to send us teams with a mentor guiding them. So the teams are already fixed. And hopefully they are complete so they don't have any trouble to work on the proposal.
Yeah, and I see a lot of them are here on the call. I think it's because people are joining together. That's why we have less people than we know the number of participants. But I see all of the teams have representatives on the call now.
Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and let's go.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you later. Feel free to send any questions during the day via email to us. But yeah, we'll see you soon. Thank you, Martin.
Goodbye. We welcome our Polish colleagues and the students there. Just go ahead and present your proposal, please.
Amazing, thank you. So, hello everyone. We are Wrocław University of Economics and Business. My name is Ada.
My name is Czarek.
And with our team, we would like to introduce you to Silver Years Fair. So, what's our project about? Why we have done that? What we are going to do, for whom, how, and when. So, starting with our whys. So 19 in 20 seniors has at least one chronic condition such as diabetes, arthritis, and heart disease.
1 in 4 elderly people in Poland struggles with loneliness.
1 in 3 seniors do not use the internet. So what are we going to do with those problems? How we are going to manage?
So we came up with the idea for Silver Years Fair, which is a mobile event that travels in between places that don't have great access to medical help, healthcare for the elderly because of their incapability of moving actually on their own to different parts of places where they live,
So the festival is a celebration of aging gracefully and a commitment to the well-being and happiness of our senior community. It's a place where they can explore, connect, and flourish, making the silver years truly shine.
And Silver Years Fair is a senior festival designed as an event where a wide range of preventive health screening, social activities, and assistance with various equipment and technologies are made available to senior citizens.
Okay, so for whom it's dedicated, so we came up with those personas of our seniors that we would like to introduce you. So first of all is Ms. Danusia Kowalska, who has no money for doctors.
There is Jan Nowak, who feels alone.
And there is Jadwiga Wójcik, who cannot use a smartphone, which means she is disabled to use mobile devices.
Unable to communicate with
and so on. Sorry. So how we're gonna manage and how we're gonna do this? So first of all, as we mentioned before, it's a mobile event that travels between towns in Opolskie Województwo, which is our local area, to provide great access for our senior citizens.
We came up with various site selections and management.
So we are.
Never mind. We came up with many marketing options for our partners to like show their products to the elderly, to the products that concerns the elderly at most. And our partners are going to provide us with equipment that we can use and present to the people it may concern.
Yes, so we came up with a strategic plan with concern Olaf mentioned before. We found event partners, medical equipment that is going to be provided by our event partners and strategic partners. Also, the doctors who are going to cooperate with us will have a chance to try and test new equipment provided by those companies. And all of our costs will be covered by our partners and local councils. So when it's going to happen and how much?
So basically, the project is planned to start now and be ready to launch in August or September next year. It is going to cost 55,500 euros. And that is the cost that is going to be covered by our sponsors.
Yes, and what is behind those costs? So we are planning to buy a bus that we are going to fully equip with medical equipment, everything that is needed to be in such a place to provide tests and healthcare for seniors. Also, marketing. Other products to promote and costs that may come up later.
So about our SDGs, to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages.
Yes, so we think that SDG number 10 to reduce inequality within and among countries, because we see how big issue is loneliness and transport exclusion of our elder people.
And to make cities and human settlements inclusive and safe, resilient and sustainable.
Okay.
So expected outputs of the Silver Years Fair. So improved quality of life, connected with others, and remain active and engaged in their community.
Community. Increase technological capabilities to live more independently.
Enhance social connections.
And increase health literacy.
Okay, so
yes.
You're finished?
We are like we need 1 minute.
2 slides away.
Yeah. Okay, so if we may continue. So specific examples of how these outputs will be achieved and included. Health screening, social activities, equipment demonstration and assistance, and educational sessions. And here are people who inspired us, our grandparents, our seniors in our life, who are great and
very important
very important for us, and they are such an inspiration.
Okay.
So thank you. This is our team who worked for you for hold this hackathon. They are here with us today.
Okay.
Yes. So here we have a Q&A session. So if you have any additional questions, we are
ready to answer.
Yeah.
So, do the judges have any questions to ask? Obviously, that's not the case. Just a question from my side. At what age does a silver year start? Do I qualify for that?
Thank you for your question. Yeah, it's a great one. We did a little bit of research based on that because we want to make sure that we are on the same page, that all the statistics are. So considering all data information provided by Eurostat, it's considered at 55 years old and plus, which, yeah.
Starts pretty early. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a little over 55, so I might qualify. Okay, so thank you very much for your presentation. Ashel, how about you?
Hello. Yes, I'm just going to share the presentation in 2 seconds. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Smart bites.
Yes, smart bites. So first of all, thank you, everyone. We are super excited to present this project. So the name of the project and the team is Smart Bites. And right now we're going to start with the problem. So the problem we were thinking about targeting was actually the rising obesity rate, especially in Ireland. And we thought about a special start that was all about 43% of the Irish population will be estimated obese by 2025, which is approximately next year. So it is a quite worrying stat we just found out all together, and you can of course find the source at the end. This stat let us think about what could be a solution. What could we do on what was our vision? So our vision is basically to target that problem, is to empower and motivate the users through the app, an app that I will explain just a little bit better how it works right after. We will provide some nutritional information about the eateries on campus. So we are actually located in the University of Limerick, and we want to really empower our users in the way they are making health-conscious dining choices. So the way they eat. So in terms of SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, what was the target? The main target was SDG number 2, because in the Zero Hunger, we found out that one of the criteria was actually the prevalence of the obesity rate. So this was the main criteria we were thinking about, we were considering to find our solution. And the second one was, of course, good health and well-being, because our app is all about promoting well-being in terms of making self-conscious and better choices, well-informed choices in terms of diet. Then in terms of scope, it was really important for us to have a real impact, a real-world impact. So before even knowing about the requirements, I would say for us it was also super important to talk about the university. What could we already achieve in our university? And we decided to conduct a survey about that. So actually, there are 69% of the Euro students that answered to the survey that said they would prefer healthier menu options in terms of solution we could offer to target the prevalence of obesity rates. And also, the solution is an app, as I said, and this app, like in the long term, if this app is really working well, it would be really nice for us to, I would say, expand the app on the national level. So in all Ireland, it could be to any other Irish university, but also just restaurants, bars, and any eatery. So now let's talk a bit more about the app solution. So the app solution has several features. So let's just say you are just right now, you are on campus, you just are ordering your food, you are having your food, and you're on the till. Well, I'm going to take my phone and I'm just going to scan the QR code. On the QR code, you just need to register once with just an email. And once you are on you registered, you will have the eatery page. The eatery page will give you a lot of information about the location of the eatery, the prices, and the menu, all the menu offer, the food items, and of course, the Nutri-Score. So our app is all about nutrition once again. So in terms of nutrition, and the Nutri-Score is in particular, so this is a system that is already existing in France. So it is a scale that ranges from A to E, how nutritious is the menu or what you are eating. So A will be obviously green because it's a good thing, it's healthy for you, whereas C will be yellow and E red, so it means that it's not that healthy to eat. But you will have a lot of information. If you really are detail-oriented, you can just click on the Nutri-Score once you selected the food item you ordered, and you will have more information about the macro. So the macro can be the number of calories. It can also be the carbs, the proteins, and the fat. And if you really, I don't know, are worried about the cholesterol, for example, because some people can be sensitive to this rate, you will have more information in the micro parts. That is all about really the Nutri-Score. Once again, this app is all about giving more information about the way you consume. So making people aware of what they eat by informing them. And also another cool feature we thought about was the part where you could just use a phone and go on the page where you can scan the food. And just by scanning the food in the eatery, you will just need to, you can just see the Nutri-Score straight away by just scanning the food, like taking a picture of the food, and you will get the Nutri-Score. And finally, last feature we thought about was the user trend. So you will have your own profile, and on your own profile, all the data that you clicked on. So let's just say you ordered, I don't know, chips and steak. That's the first example I got in my mind. So you tick on that food item. It's going to give you the Nutri-Score, and the Nutri-Score will be registered to the average Nutri-Score. And on your profile, you will have like the average about the way you are eating. So it can be a light green, it can be yellow, and it's going to give you just a little phrase, a little sentence to encourage you, saying, "Oh, that's really good. Like you have been eating, you have been in the light green zone for 2 days, for example." It's always about promoting and encouraging people also to use the app. So even if they are in the red area for some reason, we won't say, "Oh, that's bad." That's not our core message. Our core message is always to promote a healthier way to eat. So maybe next time try to eat a yellow item, for example. Then, if we talk about the benefits obviously is concerning the University of Limerick community, empowering people that are on campus. So it can be students, it can be teachers, it can be, I don't know, the staff. So many people that are living on campus, or even the person that are working in the restaurant themselves, empowering them to make healthier food choices. There's also a part about the nutritional awareness, really understanding what are you eating exactly. So it's all about being self-conscious. And finally, there's also a part with the eateries where, of course, when I say eateries, I'm talking about the restaurants, the bar. I'm also talking about the coffee. All those partners, they have. We encourage them through this app to also give new options in terms of more nutritious options. So we do think that it could also bring new types of customers if they are promoting new nutritious options, because that's what people are looking for, especially students. Finally, timeline. So the timeline constraint was 12 months, so we decided to break it into 4 parts. The first part is all about the research, so the survey we are conducting to make sure we have enough data to really work on it and make sure that we will tailor properly an app that is answering to special needs, and also thinking about a bit more about the design. Then second quarter, we will develop the app. What it means concretely, it means coding the app. How do we set up the app so that you have, 4 pages, let's just say, each one about either the eat released, either the scan food part, either the profile. All those things need to be coded on the app. Then the third quarter will be dedicated to testing the app, because of course we will have some bugs and we are aware of that, and that's why we need to test it and see how user-friendly can it be exactly. And finally, there's the fourth quarter that is dedicated to implement the solution and promote it as well, because we need to make sure that the app is actually used by everyone. So we were thinking about making a collaboration with the student life of our university to promote on Instagram. Like, that's the main social network used for the university, but also, Twitter or Facebook. All those social networks can help to have a good marketing campaign. And finally, I would conclude by saying that with Smart Bites, eat better, feel better, and live better.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Do you have any question?
What's the difference between a lot of apps that already cover most of what you are proposing?
I'll take that.
Yeah.
So our unique selling point on our app is the Nutri-Score feature. So we are aware of our competitors, like there's MyFitnessPal, HealthyFyMe apps already on the market, but they do not provide the Nutri-Score feature. That's going to be unique to our app. It's going to be really easy to use. You just open it and then select the food menu item, and then it gives you a color. So it's and the color will serve as the prime identifier for making your health choice, like the food choice.
Okay. So thank you.
Perfect. We see the slides.
Okay. So who is presenting the EcoSip? And what is it?
Hello, I'm Audrey Murphy, and this is my team, our team. So we are EcoSip. So just as an introduction, we are 5 project management students from UL setting out to create a circular economy. So within this, we found a problem within the consumption of the coffee industry and the waste that is produced. So 200 million coffee cups disposed of annually in Ireland, to 22,000 coffee cups disposed of in Ireland every hour. The recyclable logo refers to rigid lids, so the coffee cup itself is not recyclable in Ireland, and single-use coffee cups cannot be put within the recycling bins. So many of these can't be recycled due to the plastic coating within them. So some plastics take up to 1,000 years to break down. So these chemicals found in the plastic are microplastics, and they are left behind and ingested by animals, and often toxic to various creatures, including humans. And these effects should be considered within the disposable cup environment, and looking at alternative options, which is what we strive to do with EcoSip.
Sorry, can I just interrupt for a bit, just because we can't see your slides, so maybe you want to pull them up. I see them playing in the back, but we can't see them here on the screen.
Sorry about this.
No worries. Yeah, perfect. We see them now. Thank you.
Apologies. I can quickly just show you them so you can flick through them. So that was the first one, second one, third one, and now I'm on to this one, consumer. So the consumer of the coffee drinkers, so 61% of drinkers state that the customer reviews are important on the internet. So the main coffee consumption is within Generation X between 43 and 58, and followed closely by Gen Z. There are coffee drinkers throughout all incomes, so it's not restricted, and 28% of coffee drinkers live within a large city, with close second being small towns. Coffee consumption, so the revenue that it amounts to in Ireland is 151 million in 2023, and then a growth of annually by 7.22%. That amounts to per person revenues of €29.98 are generated in 2023. So the coffee market volume is expected to amount to 7.4 million kg by 2028. The coffee market is expected to show a volume growth of 3.5% in 2024. So we set out to create a circular economy, and to do so, we take on 5 steps. So that is coffee drinks, leftover coffee grounds, repurpose variety of cups and straws to be produced and reused, and then the cycle continues. So in order to do so, we are looking at 6 main development goals with primary focus on responsible consumption and production, which leads us then to decent work and economy growth, sustainable cities and communities, life below water, climate action, and life on land. So the products EcoSip hope to create is disposable cups, in-house cups, and straws. In order to do this, we need to production, sales and marketing, research, development, and then delivery. So the materials that we set out, our main 6 materials, are coffee grounds, vinegar, water, glycerol, molds, and machinery to create our products. So this product, as I said, is a circular economy, so it never stops and you can reproduce sustainably. So our process has 6 main steps. First, focusing on coffee preparation with extraction of the coffee grounds and drying the coffee grounds so they can be used to create the substance. 2, grind the coffee into a fine powder to create the mixture for a bioplastic product. 3 is to make a coffee slurry, so mix the substance with water, a 1-to-1 ratio, and adjust accordingly. Heating and forming, so gently heat the mixture, stirring the fluids into its correct thickness, and then mixture is thickened and put into molds. So cooling and drying, the material is cool and solidified into the molds, and then once dry, you can remove and let dry completely. So then you go into delivery, and off it goes. So then sales and marketing. So our target market audience is business to business, business to consumer, business to wholesaler, and then business to consumer. Our main stakeholders that we found are cafes, wholesalers, restaurants, personal customers, websites, apps, and social media. So where the customers live within Ireland, we found that the majority live at small towns or large cities. Where cafes dispose of their coffee, they mostly throw it away at a staggering 69%. Where cafes dispose of their coffee, they throw them out mainly at 68%, so we want to combat this. So the type of, most people bring a one-time use cup, so 74% of people don't bring their own keep cup or just dispose of their one-time use cup. Openness to straws, we set out a survey and we saw that 68% of people were willing to use these type of products. The willingness to pay extra, so 76% of people would prefer to pay that little bit extra for a sustainable option of coffee drink. So the top places where we found drinkers in Ireland have viewed advertisements in the last 6 months were in these various platforms. So this is where we decided was the best focus for our attraction. So that would be through websites and apps, displays and coffee in local shops, social media channels, email and marketing, and Google Analytics. So we produced a website. So this is the prototype of our website. So thank you very much. We are EcoSip, and I hope you enjoyed our presentation.
Thank you very much. That's an interesting concept. Just to use coffee ground to make new coffee pots. That's very interesting. How do you create the straws from coffee ground? I don't quite understand the chemicals.
So the mold would be the only changing aspect of what products can be made. So once you have the material, so the glycerol adds flexibility, the coffee has the structural material, and then when you combine them all, it creates anything that is durable to liquid, heat, and all the rest.
Yeah, okay. That's Very interesting idea. So I don't see any other questions. So thank you very much for your presentation. And we'll switch to the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. I think the next one is Well Nexa from Limerick as well.
Hi everyone. We are Well Nexa. My name is Vyas. Her name is Lynn. We are going to present a solution for one of the SDGs. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So we are going to discuss an urgent issue that is impacting millions of people around the world, which is skin cancer. Skin cancer is particularly pressing issue in regions where there is high UV radiation. So when we look at statistics, one of the countries which is highly impacted by it, which has high rate of skin cancer, is Australia. It is said that more than two out of 3 people are going to get affected by skin cancer at least at one point of their lives. And in 2023 alone, it is estimated that more than 18,000 people are going to get affected by melanoma, which is an aggressive type of skin cancer whose survival rates are dishearteningly low. Our primary goal of prevention is to make skin protection as a habit, something that people do without noticing that they do it automatically and without even thinking. So while there are various ad campaigns, etc., that have been implemented to create awareness, it has shown limited success in fostering this as a habit. So especially among young adults who are particularly prone to skin cancer. So our team is excited to present a solution which is both effective and accessible. Our solution aligns with SDGs, particularly with SDG 3, which is good health and well-being, by promoting safety and reducing the prevalence of skin cancer. So as we know that phones have become an integral part in our day-to-day lives. There are applications that focus on creating healthy habits, forming healthy habits, and they have made significant impact on people's well-being. These apps promote people to be more healthier, to walk more, to stay hydrated, and other healthy life changes. Our proposal is to harness the power of habit by creating one such application. Now, Lynn is going to discuss more about the application that we are suggesting.
Okay, sure. So our vision about the application is that it doesn't inform you about transformation, but also to do it become action. The app is designed as a personal sun safety coach, offering real-time UV radiation tracking based on current location, personalized sunscreen reminders, habit, and educational resources. There are some core features of the application. The first one is UV index monitoring based on current location. Our app will continuously monitor your location and remind you as soon as you cross a certain radius of your current location, ensuring you always remember to protect your skin when you need it the most. If you travel a job fence without sunscreen, our app will send you a notification to remind you. The next one is the customizable profile settings for your skin types and sun sensitivity. The next one is habit tracking for sunscreen application. The application will help you build a consistent sunscreen application habit. It tracks your responses, offering insight into your application frequency and UV radiation exposure. The next one is educational insights. Beyond providing valuable information about the UV exposure, we also offer information about skin-related issues and its symptoms, as well as how can you improve your overall health. And it comes to, knowledge is power when it comes to skin protection. And the last one is reports. We understand the importance of progress tracking, and that's why the app will provide you the reports, maybe weekly or monthly reports summarizing your sun protection habits, and even offer insight into your potential skin issues, vitamin deficiencies if you need more sun exposure. And as introduced by Bias before, our approach for the application is to start with a smaller, more manageable area where we can closely monitor the user feedback and iterate it quickly. And we chose Australia. This allows us for more controlled rollout and targeted marketing efforts. And also, we want to concentrate on young adults who are tech savvy and more engaged in the mobile application. And they also have they also have more outdoor activities, and otherwise they active on social media, and they can spread the awareness of skin cancer as well as the peer-to-peer app recommendation. So we are considering building a partnership program with Australia clinics, healthcare institutions, for example, the Cancer Council in Australia. Collaboration with reputable healthcare institutions provides a stamp of credibility and trustworthiness to the application. And endorsement from the healthcare providers can significantly impact to the user acquisition, because people tend to believe their healthcare providers. One more thing, the partnership with healthcare organization can open up avenues for funding or investment opportunities in the future. Otherwise, we can recommend cancer cultures or any local products that are suitable for their skin conditions. By doing this, we're doing more than just protecting our skin. We're nurturing our local economy, supporting local jobs, and ensuring that the product for our user rely on are readily available, meeting the highest standard of sustainability and quality. The collaboration can spearhead a comprehensive approach to skin cancer prevention, combining technology with expert healthcare knowledge to produce a tool that educates, engages, and empowers individuals to take care of their skin. So that is our presentation about this skin cancer protection. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions for our team, as well as the maybe the plan for the project?
There was one question about how you make to make the access to this app comprehensive to all people who should know and should use it, not to have excluded people with low incomes or with certain other group characteristics, and even with older people like me.
Yes, definitely. Protect your skin.
Can I answer that? So while we know that most of the people here use mobile phones, it is a fair assumption that a lot of people will be able to access the application. And since it's a collaborative approach, we are collaborating with other institutions and hospitals, and also with sustainable brands, which provide healthcare products specific to a person's reports, a person's habits. So this creates a revenue stream. So it's not necessary that everybody has to buy the application. Application might be free, but the products might be charged. And if someone doesn't use an application, maybe it's going to be only that particular segment might be excluded. But for most of them, the application will be free. And since it is a collaborative one, people will have more trust to download the application. Hope that answers the question.
Okay.
I also have an idea about the business model, which is we want to divide it into the freemium and premium package. For example, the freemium will include every features, but for the recommendation, the routine or products, the recommendation will belong to the premium parts for premium user. to get their customizable routine for them. That could be one idea.
Okay, thank you very much. It
Thank you
might
very
save a lot of lives.
Thank you. Thank you.
Up next, we have ugly foods.
Yeah, you just start with ugly food.
Okay, just to make sure, can you see the shared screen?
Yes,
I do.
I just saw it. Well, I think we see it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So hi, I'm Valentin.
I'm Gina, hi.
So to begin with, I want to ask you some questions. Have you ever seen a carrot looking like this in your supermarket? Have you ever seen a tomato looking like this in your local supermarket? Or even have you ever seen a beetroot looking like this in your supermarket? I don't think so. And this is because they are not meeting the beauty standards. They are ugly food. Actually, there is 14% of all the produced food that is lost after harvesting and before being on the open shelves of your local supermarket. But do you also know that there's 82% of the Irish people that see food waste as a real problem in Ireland? So clearly, it is explicit here that we have a contradiction. There's a food waste issue. This is why we want to tackle this SDG about responsible consumption and production. We've been wondering, what can we do? We wanted to change the perception of the young people here in Ireland, because we think that young people like us, students here in the University of Limerick, they have the future of their country in their hands. This is the future of Ireland. This is the future of Europe. And we want to change their perception towards aesthetically imperfect food, or let's say it honestly, ugly food. So with this in mind, we don't only want to reduce food waste or support farmers, but also we want to give access to fresh and cheap food to our fellowship students. Basically, what we want to implement is a weekly farmers market in our university in Limerick. This market will take place weekly starting from September 2024. But we know we need more. Would a farmer market interest me or the other students here in Limerick? Maybe a tiny number, maybe a few people. But we want more than a few people to be interested in this project. We want more people to change their perception of our food and food waste and how the food is looking. So we will not only create a whole 5 months marketing campaign over the whole campus, but we're also going to create an app and a website with a reward program to encourage purchases of this ugly food. To do so, we created a timeline, and Gina is going to present you this timeline.
Thank you, Valentine. Okay, I'm going to talk you through the project timeline and rollout plan. But since everything is happening at the University of Limerick campus and we are highly dependent on our fellow students and on the staff, we're somewhat bound to the academic calendar. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of how that looks like. So the academic year here starts in September and then goes on till December until everyone is off for a break. And then students will resume in February and stay at the university until May. So just that as a short little overview. So what we'll do is we want to start with a market research and we want to analyze EPA reports, but we definitely also want to do student surveys because those will be our future customers potentially. So we want to start that early to get an idea of what students want and don't want. And we just think doing that face-to-face or in person on campus is important. So we're going to start that in February of 2024. And then as planning, we will also start the planning and the setup of the farmers market. We will start talking to the university. We'll start talking to the committees at the university, such as the event committee or the outdoor event committee, since we want to host our farmers market outside, and other authorities such as the Limerick City County Council, because they all need to be involved when start launching a farmers market at the university. And then simultaneously, we want to start the development of our app. And what we want to do in our app, we want to have a functionality for the pre-order of meals. So we want pre-cooked meals that students can pre-order through the app and then pick out at the farmers market, as well as the functionality to pre-order fruit and vegetable bundles. And then, as Valentine already mentioned, the customer reward program. So students will be going back, collecting points because they get a benefit out of buying at our farmers market. And then lastly, which will be a huge part of the whole change of perception, will be an educational blog on our app. And then at the end of the academic year in May, we will kick off our marketing campaign, and we will partnership with on-campus restaurants for the pre-cooked meals. So basically just to start getting the word out. At the end of the academic year, we'll probably be distributing newsletters through all the channels that are available on social media and the email chances, so students get aware of it during their summer break. And then when they will return to campus, the start of the new academic year in September of 2024, we want to go into like the face-to-face campaigning. So there are events such as the Freshers Week, which is the first week for first-year students to be back in school. There's a lot going on campus. We want to get out there, talk to people face-to-face. We want to use all our social media channels that are available to us and just get the word out there that there's going to be a farmers market. We want to simultaneously launch our app at the start of September, just so we can show the students what we've been working on, show them the app, have them familiarize themselves with the app. They can set up their account there, they can look around the educational blog, and then mid-September, we were thinking 3rd or 4th week of September, which is the second week of the academic week, year here, we'll start the pilot phase of our farmers market on campus, selling the fruit and vegetable bundles, pre-cooked meals, or just in general, selling the products. Okay, so we just said a lot of things about the timeline and the SDGs. I'm going to go over the benefits once again, and why we think this is a great opportunity for the University of Limerick. We want to change the perception on food consumption behaviors. We want to reduce food waste. We want to support local farmers, and we want to enable students to access affordable fresh fruits and vegetables. So that is us, Ugly Foods. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, just one remark from one of our judges. Why don't you look for influencers to showcase cooking with ugly food?
Yeah, that is a great idea. Yeah, we should definitely do that. I think, especially amongst the young students on campus.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense. Definitely.
But the UL campus is very close knit, so you would be able to reach a large majority of it, even without the use of influencers, just local personalities or.
Yeah, okay. As long as you stay within the university,
for future expansion.
Right, but as soon as you want to go further outside, you probably won't be able to do this without an influencer and things like that. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Cheers.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Up next, we have Team Forest. And while they set up, I just wanted to remind other teams that might have joined in the audience that to present their proposals, they need to join in as speakers so they can share their thoughts.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right. Good evening. We are Team Forest, and we will be presenting the river cleanup project. Yeah, exactly. So why? Right now, there are large amounts of plastic in the world's rivers. This always results in polluted water sources and oceans, negatively impacting aquatic life and climate change. As shown by this image, recent data shows that plastics are the leading pollutants in our world's oceans. We need to address this to ensure we need to address this from the source by ensuring that the plastics, the pollutants in our rivers don't get a chance to reach the world's oceans. This will positively impact access to clean water, aquatic life, climate action, and will ensure that our cities and communities are more sustainable by reducing our contamination. So what? Our requirement is a system that can intercept surface plastics on rivers for easy cleanup. My teammate Vishak will explain our prototype.
Next slide. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Now I'll be explaining how the river cleaning technology works. Imagine the garbage is flowing through the river. We have placed the rotating wheels in a diagonal way on the river. So these wheels will intercept the plastic and direct it towards the collection tank, which I've named it an image. And now I've also we have an animated image of the prototype we have designed. Next. So this is the animated image of the prototype we have designed. The lower part of the prototype will consist of a brushless DC motor interconnected to a battery, rechargeable battery, and a generator. And the battery is rechargeable. It will take the help of the water current to recharge. If the water current is low, the wheel will rotate. The wheel will rotate with the help of the battery. And if the water current is fast enough, the wheel will take the help of the water current to rotate and direct the plastic to the collection tank. Next slide. This is the wheel we have designed. This is the wheel which will rotate and direct the plastic towards the collection tank. This will be made of plastic as well, and the collection tank will be made of stainless steel. It will be in the form of a cage.
Thank you very much, Vishak. When considering who it will affect, the immediate impact would be on local communities and the environment. We would also need to involve local governments and anyone with a vested interest in ensuring positive change for the environment to ensure the success of the project. And referring to the team itself, we would need to involve subject matter experts in mechanical and electrical engineering to ensure that our product is sound, environmental experts to ensure that the product is not disrupting the environment more than it is helping it, and a maintenance and realization team to ensure that plastic is being collected and that the prototype continues to work as it needs to. So when thinking about the how, we define 3 main stages: creating the wheel filtration system itself, identifying a suitable location for implementation, and the local implementation of the solution, the implementation itself. Next slide, please. So this is a high-level view of our work breakdown structure. In this case, we are thinking of implementing locally through in the University of Limerick in the River Shannon that runs through our campus. So Vishak is our technical teammate. He has some experience, or well, not some experience, he has a degree in mechanical engineering. So we'll be creating a prototype, finding a suitable location within the river that we can implement, and then implementing it and monitoring for the following week, actually. The next slide, please. So when, so the proposed, the wheel design, finishing up the design and technical specifications would be 1 week. Delivery of the product and creating it with local resources would take us around 2 weeks. And parallel to this, the other part of the team would be ensuring that we find a suitable location for implementation. And then the week after that, the 4th week, we would be implementing and monitoring to sort of ensure that our project was a success or not, and if necessary, creating a feedback loop to implement any improvements necessary. And this also leads us to product stages, or we're thinking about the future of this product. So the first stage would be our prototype implementation, ensuring that it is easy to use and that it is scalable and that it can be easily translated to other communities around the world. And then the second stage would be adding improvements based on that feedback loop and adding sensors that will allow us to gather more data which will eventually, next slide please, allow us to create a data dashboard that would be publicly accessible to everyone, that can give us information on, how much plastic is being collected throughout the different regions, throughout the different countries and the different regions or rivers of these countries. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
That really sounds like an easy solution for a large problem within large parts of this world. So, okay, thank you very much.
Next, we have Echo Blue. And can I ask for the tech support in the back just to check in, because I think some people are having trouble connecting, some of the other teams.
Hey guys, can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Hey, my name is Owen Donoghue and this is my team, and we are Eco Blue. Today our main focus is going to be on SDG 13, climate action, essentially aiming to reduce the amount of CO2 emissions that are being released as a result of recycled plastic being incinerated. So our main reason for this is currently in Ireland, we only recycle 28% of our plastic waste. This is significantly lower than the EU target set of 50% by 2025. Essentially, this means that a lot of recycled plastic is put in the general waste bin, which is sent to landfills and subsequently incinerated. According to the EPA, this produces approximately 2.7 kg of CO2 for every kg of plastic. Additionally, the EPA said the major contributor to this is poor separation of rubbish in businesses and homes. So essentially, we are focusing on the accommodations within UL. Next slide. And our main objective is to try and reduce the volume of single-use plastic that's misrecycled within campus. Here in UL, we have such a wide variety of nationalities. Each nationality has different recycling habits, and essentially, recyclable waste gets put into every bin. So we aim to do this by enhancing the recycling habits and knowledge of all students through implementing smart bins and an associated eco app, offering students rewards, UL rewards, such as meal tokens, tokens for the laundrette, for the stationery units, for the printing services. These are rewards that UL can offer students. The major benefits of this is to help Ireland reach its goal of 50% by 2025, increasing the separation of single-use plastic, educating students who are the future of recycling. Essentially, this reduces plastic waste sent to landfills, subsequently reducing CO2 emissions released into the atmosphere. Next slide. So we have two main deliverables. The first being the smart bin. Students will be able to log on to a QR code, which opens up a specific time which students can then dispose of their single-use plastic from their accommodation. Put it into the bin. The load sensor will calculate the weight and allocate rewards based off this. Additionally, we'll have an eco app which will track students' disposal habits. Similarly, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, students will be able to see how much waste they dispose of. Additionally, the app is generated around educating students, guiding them on what acceptable products can be accepted within the bins. Okay. I'm going to pass you on to my colleague Palak now.
And the stakeholders, which are with the main three stakeholders which are involved in our project are University of Limerick. So all the sustainability committee we have within UL, and because our project is majorly focused on UL accommodation, so this is the major stakeholder. Then the students, because students are going to be using the bins and the application from our project, and the UL participating vendors. So all this meals, laundry, and everything which will be offered or rewarded from our application, they will be the participants for it. And the major stakeholder strategy for our project is going to keep all our main stakeholders collaborate and engaged throughout the project.
And the team we have has a skill set of project management, then the IT skills to develop the application, design skills to design our bin as well as the application, and the research is to be done, software development is to be done, and all the sensors and lasers which will be inbuilt within the bin will be managed by the engineers. And in our project, we are assuming that the waste will be collected by the in-house service, waste collection service of UL. And we feel like that all the stakeholders will coordinate with us to make the project successful. And along with that, we are assuming that all the waste management policies of UL are in support with our vision of the project. And there are a number of restrictions which we feel are the permit compliant, basically the permit, which is in Ireland, you need a permit to collect waste. So that is required, and to overcome this restriction, we are coordinating with the in-house service, which is Mr. Ben. And then if there is a limited support from stakeholders, student engagement is not there. And if we have limited budget, limited time to deliver the project. So these are some of the restrictions which we feel our project might have. And along with that, the work breakdown structure of our project is the design, procurement, fabrication, test, commission, and data analysis. This might take like roughly 2-3 months of the time to deliver the project. And after that, we'll analyze the data and accordingly optimize our solution. And the risk associated with our project is the limited stakeholder support if we don't get. If students don't engage within our project, so our project might fail. And the cost and time is like increases. So that is the major risk we have. And if the rewards are exploited, so that these are the major risks which we feel our project might suffer with. And thank you so much. In case you have any questions, just let us know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. No questions.
Thank you.
I don't see any questions. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Up next, we have Harpo.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Andre from University of Limerick, and I'm joined here by the team of CopUL, including Carl the Car, our mascot. So, the problem we have here at UL is we have over 20,000 students and staff, and all those people have to commute here to UL, and over half of them are driving, and more than about 80% of these drivers find it hard to commute to UL. So the picture you have here on the right is actually the view we had this morning from the room we were working in. And as you can see, it's a fully packed parking lot. There is not a single spot left. And this perception is actually supported by data. As you can see on the graph on the bottom left, a lot of traffic is actually recorded in the entrance to University of Limerick. And this is not limited to the university. This is a problem that is affecting Limerick as a city, as Limerick consistently ranks as one of the most congested cities in Ireland, with poor air quality and, crucially, a lot of noise pollution as well. So we ran a bit of a survey and found that 80% of students were willing to switch to carpooling as a means of transportation if they found it more practical than their current way of commuting to UL. And most of them were actually commuting daily. So our solution is to create a carpooling app orientated towards the student population to reduce the number of cars on the road. So that app would be destined for student drivers who would use their car anyways to pick up some of their fellow students while they commute here to UL, and then in the evening commute back home. So they would be able to list their place of departure, their time of departure, and the day they would leave on the app, and any student interested could sign up to to share that ride. So we aim to provide accessible transport to the student population. And with that app, we are aiming to create sustainable cities and communities, so tackle SDG 11, and also SDG 12 by reducing the unnecessary number of cars on the road, and SDG 13 by reducing the number of carbon emissions. So also the crucial part about how this app works is by providing incentives to drivers, because we found that the main way ride-sharing schemes actually fail is by not having a sufficient amount of drivers. So we aim to provide incentives to these drivers using vouchers or gifts from more vouchers from the campus's businesses, such as coffee shops, restaurants, the university gift shop, or the gym. So how this works in practice is, if you had a car, if you were a student driver, you could sign up on the app, list the kind of path you would take to UL and the time you would get on that path. And then every time you could list a pickup point where any student interested in going along with you could sign up. So what do we actually need to make it work? So we need a strong customer service and verification process, because that is how most of peer-to-peer applications fail. It is by not providing a good enough service. So we need a strong moderation system to remove bad actors, such as drivers who do not consistently show up to their pickup points, and a strong verification system to ensure our user safety. So that would be requiring drivers to provide a proof of identification, registration with UL, driver's license, obviously, or any other legal documents, such as insurance. So we are also planning to involve Transport for Ireland, who are actually already partnered with University of Limerick. They have a representative on campus with whom we can coordinate and provide the necessary support. We also need to coordinate with UL Security, because they have themselves a scheme called Last Ride Home, where any student whose transportation solution falls through can get a ride in a radius of about 10 kilometers. So involving them in that scheme could be crucial. We also need to communicate properly to students to make sure they are aware that our app is launching. And we can also involve the university's environmental groups who would be interested in participating. So what we assume would need to happen for a successful implementation is an active user base, obviously, because we would need drivers and users, incentives, proper incentives for businesses that we could onboard on campus, and then the different stakeholder approvals, such as TFI and the UL security team. So we have identified a couple of challenges to that application, and the biggest of which would be data protection, and in particular the GDPR. So to tackle this, we are actually planning to use the student numbers, because in this number you can actually get the expected graduation date. So after a student has graduated, we can delete their account and delete every sensitive data they have entrusted us with. We also have to abide with Irish legislation on carpooling, which is thankfully fairly permissive. So we should be all right on that front. We have to ensure the participation of the businesses on campus. to that scheme, because their participation is really key to that whole idea. And the students would actually pay using their student clip card. So that's another reason why we need to get Transport for Ireland on board. So another challenge would be the target population we are going for is fairly limited, because that would be student population located in and around Limerick. So at first, that would be fairly restrictive, but that we're counting on the involvement of the community feeling on campus to make it work. And finally, our main cost for that application would be the platform's upkeep, the marketing and communication costs, and also the partnerships, which would be our incentive scheme. So according to Transport for Ireland, those would cost about 500 euros per year for the upkeep of the app, and then 2,000 euros per year for promotions, marketing, and incentives. We are aiming for a 9 months about development period to be able to roll out that app for the next academic year, to be able to roll it out in September 2024, so that new students can get accustomed to it. So here you can get our canvas as a summary of what we have said so far, and we will be ready to take any questions.
Oh, I don't see any questions. It looks straightforward what you would like to accomplish. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
And thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So these were all the teams from Limerick. Up next, we would have the University of Nottingham. All right. Thank you. So you guys are in group Alpha, right?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. All right.
Can you all see my slide? Can I get a confirmation, please?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am myself Abhipsha Mishra. I am presenting in behalf of University of Nottingham. So my team name is Alpha. So we are focusing on the sustainable goal of sustainable human settlement, where we are focusing on the sustainable energy practices for the rural development and reduction of carbon footprints. So first of all, I just wanted to go through the details and the stats of the cost and deliverables of this project. So first of all, we are focusing India for this sustainable development. As we know, India produces around 68.7 million tons of food waste in a year, out of which 9,061 K tons comes from the fruits and vegetable market waste. So, which is the annual facts, and the main wholesale markets which from the waste we are taking it from New Delhi and Mumbai, which contributed more than 35% of it. So we are using this food waste out of 35% of it we are consuming, like we are using 18% of the food waste in total. So here we are focusing New Delhi as our primary or specific area, because the area around the New Delhi is widely or is affected with energy crisis. So what I mean by energy crisis is they have below 56% of the people are not accessible to liquid fuels, okay, and they are not accessible to electricity as well. But but in our project we are mainly focusing on the liquid fuel. So here from the waste we are producing biogas, to which we are distributing liquid fuels to many of the rural areas and the households. So just a minute. So this is our canvas, which is the reasoning of our project is we selected this because the price rise of the LPG In recent years, we have seen many price rises in LPG, for which many of the rural people are not getting cooking fuel for their households. So, for which we are just like giving this, we are producing this biogas in a lower or a cost-effective form. And for the second reasoning is eliminating burning firewood, which causes more pollution. And by targeting this, we are actually targeting less carbon footprints, and while which turns into be less pollution. And also we are eliminating dumping, which also provides improvisation of rural sanitization. So by targeting this particular domain, we are targeting actually 3-4 domains of the sustainable development. So so we thought like this is the uniqueness of our project, because by only targeting the greener energy, we are also targeting good health, and as well as cleaner environment or the cleaner climate action. So the objective of this project is we are specifically targeting Jharkhand. This is a state in India where the poverty line is the poverty rate is very much high. The rural population of Jharkhand is around 22 millions. Okay, so where only 50% of the household is getting the liquid fuel, and rest 50% are like devoid of this major fuel, I would say. And first things, the rest, the 50% who are previously getting this fuel is now not getting it because of the price rise of the LPG. Okay, so our project is actually low in capital and low maintenance cost, and it serves around 150K of households. So I think this, we all think that the objective and the feasibility of our project is quite good. So the time bound of this biogas we set up is like 11 months. So how we are doing this is setting this is the milestone I actually want to project it, which is first milestone would be the government permission and the legal clearance, which might takes up to 1.5 months. And the second one would be designing of the plans, which can take up to 1 month. The red line here specifies the critical task or the high holding task of the project. So once we get it done, the first milestone is complete, which is much more critical. And then we can proceed with the next things, which were selecting site and purchases of equipment, which takes about 0.5 months. Start of the construction on the pipeline works, which can go simultaneously, and it can cause takes up to five months. Then we are ready for the settling of a plant. Then we up for a testing purpose, which takes up to 1 month. And then we are up for the trial period and first batch of biogas production, which takes up to 2 months. So here is our milestones. The benefits, what we are getting it from is like affordable and clean energy, sustainable cities and communities, creating greener energy and generating employment as well. So, and here we are also benefiting climate by reduction in the carbon footprints, and as well as the good health and well-being of the people around it. So, and the products we are using here is the biogas for domestic cooking and for the treatment, and for the residues we are getting after generating fuel is we are actually creating manures for agricultural fields as well. So we are targeting soil, we are increasing soil fertility, and we are also helping farmers as well for increasing productivity of the farms. So and the requirements we are here will getting the government permission and clearing the legal compliances is the major thing, which I showed you in the milestone project, which one is the critical task and our key project package of our. So ensuring quality, designing, finalization, and procurement of the necessary machineries, and many more segregation of the initialization and government subsidiaries would be the main requirements we would be handling on. The stakeholder mapping is also a really important point in our project, which includes rural residents, local authorities, investors, government agencies, which includes Ministry of New and Renewable Energies, equipment and material manufacturers, dealers, feedstock suppliers. Feedstock suppliers, I would say, those suppliers who are giving us the food waste. Okay, so we are collecting food waste from different regions, but we are localizing it with New Delhi and Jharkhand. So we are not spending too much in transportation as well. So, but we have to connect with different transportation dealers to get it in a real timeline. So the team we are focusing here is social awareness team, creating awareness and training to the community, technical team who would be arriving at the designing and specification and managing the setting of the plant, logistics teams, collection and distribution of the teams, legal consultant teams, and pipeline designing. We thought like pipeline designing would be a separate team because actually it holds a lot of challenges. Creating connections, getting the local acceptance to create a connection and good pipeline through the system and through their homes is a really difficult task in India. So we thought of like getting into a real giving it a separate team to have it. So the assumption we are taking into this project is like the percentage of plant running, we are considering it as 75% of plant running efficiency, not 100%, because nothing can run up to 100%. But yeah, currently the plants, the domestic bio digester plants which we have in India is running around 40% or 50% of efficiency. So we are assuming it to be 75 or 80% to impact a greater household things and can produce more biogas and can help many rural people in their daily life, like in their daily course, giving it a greener energy, greener fuel, because using firewood in rural area is affecting many health as well. So yeah, we are assuming 75% of the plant efficiency, then sufficient investment and no hindrance in legal clearance. So these are the assumption we are taking into the project. The risk we have is we can have local hindrance, because in India, what we are facing in day-to-day life is like not getting much local acceptance to the new projects we are making. So we can have local hindrance for pipeline construction. And the food waste quantity can also fluctuate. As I mentioned previously, that 18% we are taking into consideration of the food wastage, and we are taking this to be our planned capacity, but it can fluctuate in a year, because we are not sure like this much of food is always like this proportion of food is always goes in a waste. So yeah, we are taking that risk also into consideration. Backing out of investors and critical stakeholders is also a great risk, because at some point of time, if we know that some critical investors or critical stakeholders will back out from the project, then it can pose a great risk to the project. So and regarding the deliverable groups, we are having this consultancy task groups, procurement task group, technical design and construction task group, transportation, coordination for waste collection task group. So, and the restriction we have in this project is climate and weather restrictions, power outages, because we have frequent power outages in rural area. Like we don't get much electricity coming to in rural residents because of the accessibility, and working hours and days, because the efficiency, the labor efficiency is not up to the mark. These are the restriction, because we are having like we can work up to 5 or 8 hours a day specifically, and we actually give like a day or two for holidays, like the weekends, and also those restriction also we pose. And that labor restrictions like and infrastructure restriction, I would mean like we have to take a lot of big vehicles inside the rural areas, but the rural areas have no is having less visibility, I would say less accessibility. The roads are not really well, and it can't the big trucks and big containers or big machineries can't go well in the rural areas. So we poses this restriction as well. And coming to the cost part of our project, I would say the transportation cost per day would be 500 GBP. So in a year, we are considering it as 40,000 or something.
We can read
And
that cost table as well, since we are close to the finish of your presentation.
My closing statement would be our project is economical, it's cost effective, and it's also profitable, and it can benefit up to 145k households of the rural area in India, which is like a big number. And it also helps in reduction of carbon footprints, also helping promote good health and good life in rural areas. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can imagine that rural India is a very wide field to
Yes, sir.
work with.
Yes.
Yeah, but as we said, start small and then go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shall we go to group Gamma now?
Hi, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you, but we would like to see your slides.
Yes, you're
Yes.
group Gamma, right? Or
We're
is it
group beta.
Oh, beta. Okay.
Okay, so
So our project is about empowering local businesses for sustainable waste management. And the area that we'll be covering today is the Asia's largest slum, which is Dharavi in Mumbai, India. So talking about Dharavi, it is home to around 5,000 micro enterprises in sectors like leather, textile, and pottery. Talking about the reasoning, the current waste management practices are combining industrial and
sorry, but,
residential waste.
you have slides to present? We don't see any.
Oh, okay. Just a second. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this is, as you can see, this is the slum we'll be talking about. So the current waste management practices in Dharavi combine industrial and residential waste in the same sewage network. This causes adverse environmental and public health effects. That's because all the houses are surrounded are around the river that is flowing through, and that's the sewage. The objective of our project is to educate and raise awareness about sustainability and waste management among the local workers who are working in the industry at that particular slum. The benefits of our product would be that it will help in sustainable and environmentally friendly development. It will help in creating a cleaner and improved environment for residents. And it will also help the industries who are participating, as it will be a part of the Green Credit Program. The Green Credit Program is basically that at the annual Union Budget 2023 of India, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had allocated rupees 35,000 crore to achieve energy transition and net zero emissions and announced this program. The green credits will be transferable, and those earning it will be able to put those credits up for sale on a proposed domestic market platform. Talking about the product, I will pass it on to Mujahid, who will be taking it further.
Hello. So we have designed a program for the waste management for the small scale industries in Dharavi. The program will mainly focus on the waste collection infrastructure, training workshops, and community awareness campaigns all around Dharavi. So our basic requirements will be about the qualified trainer, the experts that will train the managers of each factories over there at Dharavi. Apart from this, we will provide training materials and resources to the trainers, and we will evaluate, we will monitor and use evaluation mechanism to view where our performance is, and obviously we will require the funding for the program. Apart from this, now talking about the stakeholders, one of the major stakeholder in this program will be about the government authorities, the local community that will help us to achieve our mission of waste management, NGOs that will helpers throughout the program, and environmental experts and waste management companies and financial institutions. Now Nishit will come and he will talk about the team restrictions and assumptions.
So the team would be comprising of a project manager who will be looking at the development throughout the process and who will be keeping up with the timelines. Environmental educators would be required to brief the localites and the residential people about the adverse effects of dumping and wastage into the river along with the industrial waste. Waste management experts would be needed to train the industrial professionals in segregating and keeping out the dyed and different kind of chemical effluents out of the sewage network and informing them about the proper dispose techniques. Volunteers would be required to conduct the campaigns, conduct the sessions for training the local and the industrial professionals. Multilingual support staff would be required as most of the slum localites and residents are speaking of different languages and there could be a language barrier. Financial managers would be looking after the budget and would also be looking after the workshop conducted. And partnership liaisons are required for the supports from NGO, government bodies, and different municipal officers. So the restrictions that we have assumed to be a part would be the funding constraints for education and infrastructure, as this could pose a difficulty in the project, and political and bureaucratic hurdles because of many local leaders active in the slum areas. A lot of political and bureaucratic hurdles can be a problem. Resistance to changing existing practices can be seen in the local residents, as they are used to the environment that they have lived since their birth, and they could be resistant towards changing. The assumptions that we made during this project is community engagement. We expect that the community will be engaging with us with the programs that we will be driving, the willingness to adapt of the industries and the residents. Government supports, government would be supporting along with the municipal corporations and the mayor of the city. Partnership with NGOs and waste management companies, which would be essential to carry out this project, and the financial support that we will be needing. We'll pass it on to Shangrang, who will be covering the delivery groups and further on. Thanks.
This project's delivery groups is training and education group, community engagement group, monitoring and evaluation group, partnership and collaboration group, and stakeholder management group. The risks about this project is including unwillingness to participate and government resistance. About the timeline, from the first month to second month is initial assessment and planning phase. From the third month to fourth month is infrastructure development and resource allocation. From fifth month to sixth month is community engagement and education. From seventh month to 9 months is implementation of waste management practices. From 10th month to 11th month is monitoring and evaluation. From the 12 months is sustainability and expansion. About this project's costs, the local community workshops will cost 10,000 to 40,000 rupee. The print materials will cost 2,000 to 5,000 rupee. The digital campaigns will cost 5,000 to 20,000 rupee. Public events will cost 20,000 to 100,000 or more rupee. Community engagement will cost 10,000 to 40,000 rupee. Multimedia content will cost 20,000 to 100,000 rupee. Thank you.
Can you just explain how many pounds or euro are 10,000 rupees? I have no relation.
So 10,000 rupees is equivalent to 100 pounds.
Okay, yeah, so
Yes.
just that we get an
So-
idea how expensive. Because 100,000 rupees first sounds like a lot of money, but okay to understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We are waiting for your colleagues from Gamma.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gamma will be our last group for today.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
So good evening, everyone. We are Team Gamma from University of Nottingham. Today, we'd like to present our topic, that is Green Pod. The Green Pod comes under the SDG of sustainable cities and communities. It also comes under the climate action. These are my teammates. So for the introduction, with increasing urbanization and rapid growth of industrialization, our human life has become easier and comfortable, but it has also resulted in serious threat, that is air pollution. So whenever we think of air pollution, the first thing that comes in our mind is planting more trees. However, it is not that feasible to plant trees in a densely populated area. As you can see the photo, this photo is of Delhi in India. It is highly populated area, and planting trees here cannot be a feasible option. And even if we plant a tree here, it will take almost 10 to 15 years to grow at its mature age. This is the rate of air quality index in India of Delhi. So as you can see, it has almost reached to very poor and crossed the severe range. And according to today's article, this is today's article, Delhi air pollution is facing crisis and the air quality index has become severely bad. So this is where our project comes in to highlight. This is a green pod. As you can see, it consists of a tank which has microalgae and water. Microalgae requires carbon dioxide for its growth, so it absorbs carbon dioxide and it releases oxygen. So it can be used in highly densely populated areas and we can put it them. The reason we are using this is to reduce CO2 emission by the natural capabilities of algae. Also, it is a innovative and sustainable project. And from the benefits, as you can see, it has a very quick result. As compared to a tree, algae absorbs CO2 10 to 50 times faster. And CO2 reduction, it results in CO2 reduction. Also, the space required by the green pod is very less. It takes a space around 200 square meter approximately. And one green pod replaces 2 adult old trees, as in the CO2 absorbed by 2 old trees is similar to to the green pod absorption. Also, the efficiency is really high. It absorbs CO2 to 200 times faster than compared to a normal tree. And algae has a property to reproduce itself. So we can put small amount of algae in the tank, but it will reproduce itself, thus resulting in air purification and health improvement. Also, the biomass, the waste product by these green pod is a biomass, and it can be converted into decomposed and fertilizers, which can be beneficial to the environment as well. And algae is very easy to grow.
So the requirements of our project are, first of all, I'd like to discuss about the initial setup, which is a water tank, which can hold like 300 to 600 liters of water, and there's a microalgae and cellulose nanofiber. So our product will be needing a space of 200 square meters. And apart from that, we need some certain requirements like government permissions as well as like patent and permission, because the product which we are using, the patent has already been done by a certain company in Serbia. So those will be the requirements for our project. Apart from this, we have stakeholders like we are discussing this project to for a certain city like Delhi. So we need permission from like state government bodies like a municipality and Nagar Nigam, and residents and local political units. So like in Delhi, the local political unit is AAP. Sorry, that's Aam Aadmi Party. So the team requirement will be like project manager, algae biologist and researcher, chemical engineers, environmental engineers, regulatory and compliance expert, and the volunteers. So the assumption of this project will be like the global issue due to health hazard, availability and suitable location for system deployment, collaboration of support from stakeholders, and cost and budget. The restrictions will be, as I mentioned earlier, like the permits and all, like the patents, and also it will be like license, permits, authorization, applicable law and regulation of government authority. So the thing is like we are establishing this project in like highways, and also we will be needing certain authorization and permits about this. So those are with the restriction. The risk of this project is vandalism. So vandalism, like city like Delhi, it's a certain issue of vandalism, and there are other factors like weather condition and lack of sunlight, as algae needs certain sunlight as it uses photosynthesis. That's why, and other risks are malfunction. So the timeline are like this: team formation and planning will be needing 1 month. Research and development phase will be needing 2 to 3 months. Testing and optimization will be needing 4 to 5 months. Implementation and monitoring will be needing 6 to 7 months. Scaling, integration, and evaluation will be needing 8 to 9 months. Deployment will be needing 10 months, and monitoring will be needing 11 to 12 months. So the costs are like this. So the production of the raw materials like the tank and all will be 97 GBP, and algae we are using like 5 kgs, which will be like 5 GBP. And there will be certain costs of installation and team labors and all, which will be around approximately like 26,000 GBP. And other than that, it will be like transportation costs, which is 20 GBP, and maintenance cost is like 634 GBP yearly. So maintenance is like you have to maintain for a certain amount of time, which is like 45 days. So yeah, that's all the costs. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I just have one question I didn't understand. You were talking about the space requirement of 200 square meter, and you have a tank that contains only between 300 and 600 liters of water. So is it that flat that you need that much space, or is there a zero too much in?
I guess it's not square meters, or like
maybe if it's square feet, then I understand it.
Yeah, I guess it's like misprinted something. I guess it's like 200 square feet or something.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I understand it. That's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
So a question from one of the judges: those pots, are they a permanent installation, or do you use them and maybe you reuse them somewhere else, or what is the idea?
So it's like a permanent thing, as the lifespan of a particular this is like up to 20 years, depending on the maintenance things and all. And yeah, to add something.
Yes, it is portable. Like from the place you can manufacture it, you can place that to different location. In case of requirement, if it is not really required in that place, we can later shift on it to some other place.
Yeah, but it's a permanent thing.
Yeah, it's a permanent thing for that thing. Otherwise, like it's not.
Okay, that's what I wanted to understand. So
Like,
thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. We're at the end of our presentations today.
And we made it just in time.
Exactly. So amazing and well done to all of the teams.
Yes.
And I think we're back in 10 minutes for the closure, right?
Thank you. And
all right. We'll see you all in a bit. Thank you. Perfect. So thanks, everyone. This is just a bit of a recap of our amazing hackathon that just finished 10 minutes ago. So as a recap, we had an opening session this morning, but my name is Juliana Correa. I am the Youth and Academic Lead for PMI, and I also handle the areas of social impact, all of this here in the Europe region. And with me, I have Dr. Martin Bertrand, who is a board member of PMI Germany chapter and has been behind the scenes and in front of the cameras here the whole day, supporting this amazing event that we had, the Sustainability Summit, and playing a key role as well in the hackathon along with myself. So I thought we could start off just with a bit of a revisit to the journey we've had with the hackathon, universities and organizations to participate with their students. We contacted a few experts to be part of our judging panel. We shared schedules and documentations in preparation. And we had a great training session for participants that took place on Monday evening, so on November 6th. So Martin introduced some concepts around project management, and in particular, the project canvas, which many of you saw in the presentations today. This has been the backbone of all of the presentations that we saw. And our colleague Esther, who was in other of the summit sessions as well, presented an introduction to the Sustainable Development Goals. So the whole idea behind that was really to prepare the students, the mentors, everybody to be able to join today and come up with the amazing ideas that we heard. There's also a recap of the agenda. We started today with an introduction that Martin did earlier. Then there was offline work in all of the teams. So we saw teams remotely joining from Poland and from here, the UK, each from the UK, here in England and in Ireland. So everybody joining remotely, as you saw. They then prepared the presentations, and we saw the presentations now from 20 to 5 to 20 to 7, so a couple of hours of presentations. And each team had the amazing task of boiling down all of the work that they did to present and answer questions from the judges in 10 minutes. So quite an achievement there in itself. We are now at the closing of the hackathon. We will have discussions on the awards in the next hour or so, and Martin will be announcing the teams on categories that I'll share in a bit later today in the closing of the summit. So stay tuned for that. In terms of next steps, we will be then sending the certificates of the awards along with feedback for all of the teams that presented next week. So you receive much more detailed feedback. So when we started with this idea of the hackathon, what were our aims? So first, the idea came up to promote an opportunity for students and young leaders to take active part in the summit. Of course, they could join the sessions as well. And we know within our student community, a lot of people also joined to watch the great sessions that we had. But this was an idea of putting them on the stage as well and giving them that space to share their ideas. Another goal that we had here was to broaden young people's knowledge of project management and ways of working in support of the SDGs, so in connection to the training that I mentioned before. And all of this was really to help them exercise and develop their skills. And I highlighted here just a bit about how PMI frames different types of skills. So this here on the screen is the PMI talent triangle. And you can see that the types of skills are categorized in ways of working. So this is all about project management, how you are working together, business acumen, so looking into specific industries, strategy, we could see how many of the teams did that today, of looking at their specific sector and the idea they were pitching and bringing in the statistics of why this was a relevant issue, why they were focusing on this idea. And finally, but not at all less important, power skills. So we consider social and emotional skills We actually like to call them power skills because we feel nowadays in the world of work, they are so important that calling them soft skills or social emotional skills doesn't really transmit the importance that they have for individuals and for organizations. So we like to call them power skills. And here we could see leadership, the collaboration, empathy, a lot of the skills that the students also showcased today during the presentations. And finally, we also wanted to celebrate the participants' achievements. So this is why we are going to be awarding each one of the teams with a special type of award based on their highest achievement on one element of the projects that they've presented. How did we go about assessing the projects today? So our judges were looking specifically at 5 points. The first of them being the alignment of the projects with the selected UN SDGs. So each of the teams was focusing on one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And the first point of assessment was how connected and how clear was that connection. The second point was about the knowledge of the problem that they were seeking to tackle and the solution that they created, how that solution addressed the problem. So that link between the issue identified and the solution proposed. The third element that they were looking at was the evaluation of the project itself. So what were its competitive advantages or differentials based on other ideas that are already in the market? The next one was the evaluation of the performance and the animation of the presenters in their pitch. So how were they engaging the audience? How were they communicating the idea they had and the outline of their projects with us? And then finally, a bit about the storytelling. So the narrative and the design of the presentations. So these are the 5 key points that the teams will receive feedback on. In terms of awards, these are the categories that we will be awarding teams on. You can see here that they take on many different aspects of the projects. So we have a highest impact, we have best ideas to mitigate risks, the best connection between effort and benefits, the quickest one to achieve benefits, the best impact measurement, the best use of external data, the best use of existing capabilities, the largest number of people positively affected, other organizations supporting the project. So this is about the other stakeholders that best presentation, which speaks to the slides that they created, how they came about communicating that, and the best documentation. So how they produced the written part of the work, so the project canvas and the slides and the details that are in there. And then last but not least, I just wanted to take a moment then to celebrate the day today and the hackathon. I would like to say a huge thank you to the universities that took part in the initiative today. We also have a few NGOs that connected to us. And of course, the students that spent the whole day working on their projects with their mentors. So thank you to the students and the mentors. To the judges that participated, we have Ava, Agnes, and Liz who joined us and are going to be providing feedback on the projects. To all of the volunteers that took part in the organization of the summit, I think Martin and I were kind of here in the forefront, but we had a lot of people contributing in the back. We have some IT support here as well. And thanks to all of you for joining us today. We hope you had gotten some inspiration from these amazing projects. I am a strong believer in this new generation and what they can achieve. And yeah, I think this is a great way of closing the event today, at least this part of the hackathon, also in the spirit of one of our PMI values, which is together we can. So how different people can contribute in different ways in support of the Sustainable Development Goals. And final note for me is just stay tuned on the awards announcement on the closing of the summit at 5 to 9 today GMT. So these are it in terms of my slides. I'll stop sharing. Martin, I don't know if you want to say anything.
No, I have nothing to add to what you said. Thank you very much, and we will meet in online and virtual space a short time before 9 o'clock this evening. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Amazing work.
Great work, Juliana. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, all the students.
Thank you.